Good morning, YouTubers. Today you find me in my workshop and trying to recover a disaster I had. We had a little bit of a joining of the funnel club. As you can see, our nice bowl has got a nice hole. So what we'll have to do is try and recover that, and what I intend to do is reverse mount it in the chuck, take out the centre and take out the centre, and I'm going to use a piece of ash, and I'm going to make a little stand so that we have a pedestal bowl, and we'll see how that goes. So look and learn. So firstly we'll take it off the take it out of the chuck. Remove the chuck from the base. Remove the chuck from the base. I think the lathe, I mean. Oh well. Being a new turner, sometimes get my bits and pieces mixed up. So we're going to use these coal jaws, or I'm not for sure if they're coal jaws or just extended jaws. These are from Record Power. And what I'll have to do is I'll have to set the bowl on here and then screw in these other bits, because the bowl is just right at the very limits of what I can hold in these jaws. So I'll put these in temporarily with my fingers. And if I go to the close up there, you'll see I can show you these. These are the little wedge shaped ones. So we're using them to try and locate our bowl. So once I've got them on, I can then use my spanner to tighten them up, make sure they're kind of square. I'll do that down there, you'll see it better. There we go. So these don't have to be tightened up too much, or you'll just squash the rubberized material, just enough so as they're kind of gripped. Don't screw them in too hard or you'll just damage them. I'm just checking all the way around there, make sure they're all kind of secure. And that's me all the way around, because that's my damaged one. That kind of gives me a start, shows I know exactly where things are. Now, we'll turn the lathe on at the slowest speed. Let's see how that looks. It's a bit off centre. So we'll look at that and see how we can, if we can affect that really. I tighten the jaws up a little bit. Still miles off centre. We'll use this to see how far off centre it is. Excuse me. I think I should be able to work with that. It's not too far off centre. So I'll just turn that off for a second and I'll get this set up. What is just below centre, somewhere about there. And now I'm going to, all I want to do is take a dovetail off of this mounting point. So I'll remove the scale stock again so as I don't get banged by it. So that's it mounted. It's slightly off centre, but it's close enough that I can get a nice little hole in the middle, or I'll remake the middle basically. So I'm going to use my parting tool, because basically all I want to do is just remove the, I'll come back to the close-up. As you can see in here, there is a little recess and it's dovetailed. So I just need to take that off, I think. Just the slightest margin. So we'll switch this on and run it up to about 500 revs. And these jaws have a maximum of 600 revs, so I must keep below that. So that's me at, we'll go to the overhead and you'll see. That's me at 400 and there's 500 revs exactly. So we'll just go with that. Back to the close-up, sorry. So nice and slowly, just remove that piece in the middle. And then make a large, slightly larger hole. Trying to keep my tool parallel to the lathe bed so we've got a nice square cut in there. So when I glue in the new piece, it stays. So, excuse me. Got some little fuzzies in the inside there. I think I'll just take a little bit of sandpaper and run them off on the inside. So we'll turn the speed down again, down to 140. Just want to make sure I've got a nice square clean cut in there. It looks like it. So now I need to measure that. So we'll measure the inside. Using our calipers or verniers or whatever you call it. I call them verniers. It's very near to near enough. So that is 56 mil. So I think what we'll do now is I'll have a little pause while I change over the setup, and then we'll come back once I've got the smaller piece of ash mounted on the lathe. Thank you. Okay, so I'm back, and we're going to go now and mount this piece of ash onto the lathe. Go to the overhead. We've got a step drive centre on one end, on the headstock end, and we've got our step live centre in the tailstock end. So first things first, we need to find the centre of this piece of wood. So use our centre finder. Line. We'll do 4 intersecting lines to see where it brings us. So that brings me into the middle, and I'll use my little gravel just to punch a hole right in the middle. There we go. Run it over, and you'll probably see there's a divot in the end of this one already where I've already been in the chuck. So I just wanted to show you how to find the centre. So next we'll put this end in there, and bring up our tailstock, marry up the two holes, lock the tailstock, and extend the quill, engaging the two drives. Lock this off, make sure that is locked off nice and tight. Centre. I'm just going to rough this down to round. And for that I'll use a little bowl gauge. So I've got 3/8 bowl gauge here, and I'll just use that to rough this out. So that'll leaf off at normal, at a nice slow speed, just to check things not going to fly off. Safety glasses on, turn the speed up, and we'll go about 1,000 revs here, roughly about 1,000, and we'll just start by rounding this piece off. So I'll show you this from the tailstock end so you can see that I've got my rub the bevel, lift the tool, engage the cut, and then just rock my weight from right foot to left foot. Start again. On the weight's on the right foot, and then just slide the tool from right to left, trying to keep the angle of attack exactly the same, keeping the bevel in contact. Transferring the weight to my left foot. Shut there. Look at the overhead now. That's that pretty well round. So now, next thing we need is we need to get one end down to the size that we needed, which was 56 mil. But first of all I need to get a chucking point on one end. So we'll use my calipers, and we'll use a parting tool to make a tenon on this end so we can grip at the jaws. So I'll just do that first. But what I want to emphasise, or I'd like to remind everybody that direct entry is at vertical. So enter at vertical, start your cut, lift the tool, drop the handle, and continue the cut. Put them right on the end. Again, I'm going to start at level, so go to the tailstock, show you that. So the chisel is parallel to the ground. Start the cut. It's kind of scraping action. Drop the tool handle. More of a cutting action now. And then just lift the handle and push the tool towards the centre. another bit to take off there. I'll go back to the overhead for you, so you can see there's a little bit come off. And we'll just walk the tool from side to side, just taking that off slowly. And again we can engage the cut. So we think we're getting close to where we need the calipers. Trying to ensure is that this face is nice and square. So we'll test this with the caliper now. No fair bit to go yet, so I'll take another couple of little cuts first. And just check again. Another couple of little cuts. And that's actually covered. I'm just going to square this little face off. So now I've got this face. This face is important that this is flat. So if I lean my tool against it, you can see that it's flat all the way into my, and it's at 90 degrees. Now this bit here is not flat. This piece here. But that doesn't matter because that's going to sit inside the chuck jaws. So I'll just show you on this chuck. Oh, okay. Try this tool. So we open these jaws up. Maybe give them a little blow out for you because they're kind of dusty. You can see inside here. We don't want the bottom of the workpiece to bottom out in here. It needs to be sitting on the shoulders of the jaw. So this bit needs to be, this face here needs to be flat so they can mount properly on the jaws. So I think that's ready. So I can now mount that on the chuck. So we just hold a little pause there.